Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Welcome to Cooking with Kids. Tonight we'll be making beef tacos with Spanish, rice, and refried beans, and apple pie.
If we want to.
Hello, everybody.
Second show of Cooking with Kids.
Second show, Cooking with Kids. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we're making beef tacos, Spanish rice, and refried beans. Okay, we've got a lot of things set up ahead of time. We've got our cheese shredded. Come on over here. And we got our lettuce shredded and tomato. And
I hate tomatoes.
I'll take a little bit out here.
I don't want to
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to start with the rice. The first thing you want to do is you want to have a hot pan. So you get a hot pan,
Hello.
and we're going to make about 2 cups worth of rice. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons, and we're going to say that's about 2 tablespoons right there of rice. Okay? Or oil, I'm sorry, 2 tablespoons of oil. And then, Isabel,
What?
if you would be so kind as to pour the carrots and onions into the pan.
Slowly? All of it?
All of it. I'm going to do it this way. Put all the carrots and the onions in there. Okay. Go ahead and throw that in the sink. Okay. Have the carrots and onions. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit.
A wee bit.
And we're going to
A wee bit.
cook those carrots and onions. Let those cook for a second. The next thing we're going to do, while we're waiting for those to cook, is we're going to take 1 pound of ground beef and put it into this pan. Isabel, would you help me pour this in there? Come over here. Love the ground beef. Okay, and then,
That was just quick.
then you're going to go ahead and make sure it's stirring. Hold it with this.
Action.
Excellent. Okay. Now, the beef is cooking. The carrots and the onions are cooking nicely. Okay. Gonna keep cooking along there. Now, your main ingredients for tacos and Spanish food is going to be cumin, chili powder, and oregano. Those are the main things. With, of course, salt. I'm using kosher salt because I'm not a regular salt, but that's fine. Salt is salt. Just like explosives is explosives.
On flat paper.
And also, on the rice, are you watching? Gonna keep on cooking the carrots and the onions.
No one likes raw meat.
Refried beans?
No,
Yeah. We've also got refried beans tonight, which we already warmed up in a pan.
yeah.
We had some beans that were you can buy pre-made refried beans, which are very easy, and you just heat them up in the microwave, or you can buy uncooked and cook them yourself. But we bought beans in the pan, and then we used this handy dandy little smasher, and as they cook we smashed them up, and they're pretty tasty.
What is a smasher?
This is a smasher.
Oh.
Yeah. So we cooked that up already. We'll take a taste. Alright. Isabel's gonna take a little taste here. Oh yeah, Gabriel wants to taste. Our cameraman Gabriel wants to taste.
Just have a look.
Okay.
Cameras like it.
So our beef is cooking very nicely. If you want to take a look down at our beef, Gabe.
It's brown and pink.
And then go ahead and take a look at our vegetables here.
What do they
Yeah, they're
look
cooking real nice. Okay. We're looking pretty good in there. And what we're going to do now
like?
is we're going to add this rice over here. See the rice down here? Okay, we got 1 cup of rice. Now usually, when you're cooking rice, you want 2 to 1. So 1 part rice to 2 parts water. So we've got 1 part rice is 1 cup of rice, and the 2 parts of water is going to be water, but we're also going to add a little tomato juice to give it that red tomato flavor for Spanish rice. So we put the rice in there and stir it up and let it soak up the oil and cook with the tomatoes and the carrots. And we just let that go for a little bit under
Explosive.
about a medium heat.
Keep.
Let that go under a medium heat and let the meat keep cooking under medium heat. And now we're going to add some spices to the rice. So first we'll add a little salt. I'd say for a cup of rice, about a tablespoon of salt. And then maybe 2 teaspoons of cumin. Isabel's going to keep stirring it for us. And about 1 teaspoon of chili powder.
Chili powder.
Yeah.
Is that spicy?
No.
Phew.
Yes, it is.
I don't like spicy
He's
stuff.
kidding with you.
Dad, are you kidding?
No, it is spicy, but
Oh.
it's not going to be that spicy for you.
I don't care.
I don't like spice.
I don't care. You've had spicy actually as well.
I know, I just don't like it.
You'll be fine.
And I hate tomatoes.
Okay, so I added a little V8 tomato juice to our water. This is going to go in our Spanish rice.
P.S.
Once the rice is, check it out. You see as you cook it, what happens to the rice is it starts to puff a little bit, starts to open up. It just keeps cooking like that. So let that go for just a couple minutes. Nice and hot, and the meat, the ground beef, Isabel is right on it. Still going right away. Keep following her on the meat.
That bubble popped onto my finger. And P.S. to all children who hate tomatoes, take out the tomatoes and put it somewhere on your plate. And don't eat it. And throw it away.
Okay, so our meat is cooking. Go ahead and stir that up a little bit more, Isabel. Looking pretty good. Go ahead and hold this like this. Do this with this. You want to cook it until you get rid of all the red. No red.
I know, that's what I was doing. I was putting some.
I'm telling them.
Okay,
Remember?
forgot.
Okay, now look at our rice. You can hear it snapping and cracking. It's starting to stick to the side. So we got a pretty good cooking action going here on the rice. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add our water. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, we're upside down. What's going on? It's 3D. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. So now we're going to add our liquid, which is 2 cups of water. Well, actually, it's about a cup and a half of water and a 1 6-ounce can of tomato juice. So we get the red for the tomato, for the rice, to make it Spanish rice. Put that in. You can hear it sizzling.
It's so loud!
Okay. Now, take a look down here, good. It's sizzling away. We're going to turn the heat up to the highest amount we can. Look at that. Look at that high cranking heat. Okay, we're going to let that crank. When it starts boiling, put the top on and turn the heat down. So, let that cook for a second. Get up to a high heat. Now look at this. Our beef is
It's
cooked.
all brown.
Okay, so now we're going to turn the heat off the beef.
It's almost. And let it cool down.
Follow me here. And what we're going to do now, we're going to put the beef into a colander. We're going to drain off the grease. Now mind you, fat is flavor.
Yeah.
But,
That's good.
but you don't want too much, because it'll give you a heart attack and all that. So, we drain it.
Drain, drain, drain,
Drain,
drain,
drain,
drain, drain, drain.
Drain, drain, drain. Okay.
And then
Put it back in the pan.
Always put it in the pan.
Okay.
That
Put it back on
sounds
some heat.
weird, like Peter Pan. Peter Pan.
Okay, now we're going to put it on low heat. Now we're going to add our spices. Now we add our spices.
Dad, are we there?
Again, cumin. And we're going to add about,
100 pieces.
for 1 pound of beef, I'd say about 2 tablespoons of cumin.
That looks like
about,
puke.
that's about.
It just looks gross to me.
Okay, well. Okay, there's the cumin. And
Do
then
we
the
mix it?
chili powder. Yeah, you can start mixing. And then about a tablespoon of chili
And
powder.
it's red. Green
Tablespoon.
red.
So 2 tablespoons of cumin, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and then I'll do 1 tablespoon of oregano. And then 1 tablespoon of salt. Which is right about here. Okay, so there's our spices. And then we're going to add about half a cup of water. Okay, and that will get all the spices incorporated into the beef.
What does incorporated mean?
It means it gets it all together. It gets the spices mixed in with the meat. Oh, now as you can see, our rice mixture is boiling.
It's boiling like
See
crazy.
that? Okay, we're going to turn the heat down to a simmer.
Simmer.
Okay, turn the heat down to a simmer.
Simmer.
Show them a simmer. Where you just have a little bit of bubbling.
Yeah.
And then we will
Put
put the top on there.
How come a top? Seriously.
Because that you put a top on so that the steam stays in. And
Why do I need to steam it?
because you don't want all the water to get out, because the water is what cooks the rice. And you want a tight seal on it. I don't have a tight seal on this, so I have this little hole. I'm going to take a little plastic and just cover that hole up.
What if it catches on fire?
It won't catch on fire. So we keep cooking the meat.
It won't catch on fire.
As you can see, we're cooking the meat.
Gas is gonna come for me.
Isabel, please, not on camera.
Sorry.
Criminy
I
piece.
couldn't hold it
Okay, let me take a little bite here.
with the cake type. Is it hot?
Ooh. Oh, it's perfect though. It'll taste like a taco. Are you watching the film?
No, there's not.
What?
Hot.
Okay, so our beef is cooking, and over here, as you can see, we got our cheese already shredded, tomatoes cut, shredded is cut, but it's up to you. It's up to you what you want to put on your taco. You can put potatoes on your taco if you want, but we're not going to do that. We're doing regular, but we're doing soft shell tacos.
Yay, I love soft shell.
We're using El Milagro flour tortillas.
Oh, well.
So we're using flour tortillas. And what we do, we have a pan over here. Nice little griddle. We have a griddle where we're going to heat up our soft shells. We're going to cook them there. Now, our rice is cooking, so that's what's going to take the longest time. So, In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to take this ground beef, which is already ready, nice and cooked up.
So what do we do to click it on off?
And we are going to, I want to hear beans back up.
Doesn't that kind of look like it's not even burning,
So we're
but
going to take the
there's
beef
still some
off.
fire down
We're going to
there?
have the beans back on.
Pretty
Crank that up for a minute. We're going to put the meat over on the pan where we're going to cook the tortillas. So we're going to heat up the beans here.
Again.
Heat them back up, which won't take too long.
Mash, mash,
And while we're waiting, let's see. I think what we're going to do is, why don't we take a look at the apple? We made an apple pie tonight, which we're not going to do tonight. We'll do that another time. Are you watching that? And when we come out in the living room here,
Get the,
take a look at our apple pie.
we're letting it cool off. And for the extra dough, we made an appetizer. Which we don't like the burnt parts.
So we made
Daddy,
a
did you
lovely apple pie.
Lovely apple pie. And we came up with the idea from Mate Isabel.
Because you can't stop saying pie. Okay.
I can't stop saying pie.
Okay. Now, the problem is we're waiting on. Okay, here's our beans. Check out our beans. Getting nice and hot. And then we use this to mash them down.
And we'll have to show them when it's all shiny and stuff and they'll food on it.
Okay. Stop. You're eating all the cheese.
No.
Okay. Now, I think since this rice is going to take so long, we're going to take a little break. And this is going to be part 1. And we're going to take a little break. And part 2 will come up in just a minute. So go ahead and give them a pause.